One page can change your entire life. Napoleon Hill called it the definite chief aim, and he insisted that no man or woman could achieve lasting success without it. Why? Because the mind without purpose is like a ship without a rudder, drifting, tossed by the waves, at the mercy of chance. But the moment you write your purpose clearly, in definite terms, you stop drifting and start directing. You give your subconscious an order, and your life begins to align with it. Hill wrote that the starting point of all achievement is definiteness of purpose. Not vague wishes, not casual goals, not half-hearted intentions, but a burning desire written clearly, with precision and persistence. He interviewed thousands of successful people, and the common factor was always the same. They knew exactly what they wanted, and they had written it down. Think about the average person. Ask them, "What do you want from life?" And they will answer vaguely, "I just want to be happy. I want to make more money. I want to be successful." But what does that mean? Happiness to one person is different to another. More money could mean $1 extra or $1 million. Success could be fame, influence, health, or peace. Vague desires create vague results. Definite desires create definite results. The definite chief aim is your life's blueprint. It is the page you read every morning and every night until it becomes part of you. It is the command you give your subconscious, directing it to seek, create, and manifest the circumstances that match your vision. And once your subconscious is programmed with it, you begin to attract ideas, people, and opportunities that align with it. So how do you create it? Hill gave us a formula. First, decide exactly what you want. Be specific. If it is wealth, decide how much. If it is a career, decide what role. If it is a business, decide what kind. If it is impact, decide how and whom you will serve. General desires confuse the subconscious. Specific desires command it. Second, decide what you will give in return. Nothing is free. Every desire has a price. If you want wealth, what service, skill, or value will you offer? If you want health, what discipline will you practice? If you want purpose, what sacrifices will you make? Hill insisted on this step because selfish desire without service rarely endures. The subconscious must know not only what you want, but what you're willing to exchange for it. Third, set a deadline. Desire without time becomes procrastination. If you say, someday, the subconscious drifts. If you say, by December 31st of this year, the subconscious works urgently. Time creates pressure. Pressure creates focus. Focus creates results. Fourth, write it in present tense. I will is powerful, but I am is even stronger. The subconscious responds to identity. When you declare, I am earning this amount by this date, or I am living with health and energy, or I am fulfilling my purpose daily, your subconscious begins to adjust your behavior, emotions, and decisions to match that identity. Fifth, read it daily, morning and night. Repetition imprints. At first it may feel unnatural, even false. But with persistence, the words sink into your subconscious. And once the subconscious accepts it, it begins to create it. That is the law. Now imagine this. A single page, written with clarity, read with conviction, repeated with persistence, could redirect your entire future. That is not exaggeration. Hill proved it with his own life. He began as a poor boy in Virginia, with no wealth, no connections, no power. But he wrote his purpose, persisted in it, and became one of the most influential authors in history. His philosophy has changed millions of lives. It all began with definiteness of purpose. Let us look at practical examples. Suppose your desire is wealth. A weak statement would be, I want to be rich. A strong, definite chief aim would be, by December 31st, 2026, I will have earned $500,000. I will do this by building a business that provides online fitness programs, helping thousands of people transform their health. In return, I will dedicate 10 hours per day to learning, building, and serving. I am grateful for this wealth, which gives me freedom, impact, and abundance. Suppose your desire is health. A vague statement would be, I want to be fit. A strong, definite chief aim would be, I am grateful that I weigh 75 kilos with a lean, strong body. I exercise 4 times per week with joy. I eat nourishing foods, and I live with energy and vitality. In return, I will discipline my habits, reject unhealthy foods, and remain persistent until I achieve and maintain this state. Suppose your desire is purpose. A weak statement would be, I want to help people. A strong, definite chief aim would be, I am fulfilling my purpose as a teacher and mentor, inspiring thousands with my words and my service. I publish 1 video weekly, I write 1 article daily, and I dedicate my life to lifting others into faith and purpose. In return, I give my energy, my discipline, and my creativity fully to this mission. Notice the difference. Weak statements are vague, casual, and uninspiring. Strong, definite chief aims are specific, measurable, emotional, and persistent. They ignite the subconscious. They demand action. They command belief. And once you have written it, you must commit. Hill said that the reason most people fail is not lack of talent or opportunity. It is lack of persistence in purpose. They drift from goal to goal, desire to desire, idea to idea. But the successful lock into one burning desire and refuse to let go until it is achieved. The definite chief aim keeps you locked in. It reminds you daily of your mission. It protects you from distraction. It gives you strength when doubt attacks. So here is the truth. 1 page can change your life, but only if you write it with clarity, read it with conviction, and live it with persistence. Your definite chief aim is not just a goal. It is your identity, your compass, your destiny written on paper. The definite chief aim is not powerful because you write it once. Its power comes from repetition, from engraving it into your subconscious until it becomes part of who you are. Napoleon Hill insisted, write it, read it, speak it every morning and every night. Why? Because the subconscious is shaped by repetition, not by single acts. 1 day of affirmations changes nothing. 30 days begins to shift. 90 days creates momentum. A year makes it permanent. At first, it may feel uncomfortable. You may feel like you are lying to yourself. If you write, I am earning $100,000 a year, but you currently earn a fraction of that, your conscious mind resists. It says, that's not true. Look at your bank account. This is the resistance. But here's the secret. The subconscious does not care whether something is true or false. It only cares whether it is repeated with emotion. If you persist long enough, your conscious mind will stop resisting, and your subconscious will accept the new belief. Once it does, everything begins to shift. This is why Hill required 2 practices, speaking and visualization. Speaking your definite chief, aim out loud forces your body to feel the words. Visualization allows you to see them as reality. Together, they bypass resistance. Words and images create emotion. Emotion opens the subconscious, and the subconscious, once open, begins to obey. But why morning and night? Because those are the times when the conscious mind is weakest and the subconscious is most open. In the morning, your mind is fresh, unburdened by the day. At night, your mind is relaxed, preparing for sleep. Whatever you feed your mind in these moments goes deepest. That is why people who fall asleep worrying wake up anxious, while those who fall asleep visualizing success wake up inspired. Think of it like exercise. 1 workout does little, but daily repetition builds strength. Your definite chief aim is your mental workout. Every morning and every night you are strengthening the muscle of belief. And just like exercise, the first days are the hardest. Your mind feels sore, resistant. But if you persist, you break through. Suddenly, belief becomes easier. Suddenly, action feels natural. Suddenly, results begin to appear. Let's talk about resistance more deeply. The first resistance is doubt. You will hear a voice inside say, this is silly. You're wasting your time. That voice is not truth. It is programming. It comes from years of repetition of fear and limitation. Hill called it the devil's trick. The only way to silence it is persistence. Doubt is loud at first, but quiets when you ignore it. The second resistance is boredom. After a week, you may feel tired of repeating the same words. But remember, the goal is not excitement. It is saturation. Just as water wears down stone, repetition wears down resistance. Even if you don't feel anything in the moment, the words are working. The subconscious is listening even when the conscious mind is bored. The third resistance is distraction. Life will tempt you to skip days. You'll think, I'm too tired tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. But missing breaks momentum. He'll emphasize that persistence is everything. If you truly want your chief aim to shape your life, you must refuse excuses. Even if you're tired, even if you're busy, take 5 minutes to repeat it. Small acts of consistency build unshakable belief. And then comes the reward. After weeks of persistence, something shifts. You begin to feel different. The words no longer feel foreign. They feel natural. You catch yourself acting in alignment with them without even thinking. You begin to see opportunities where before you saw nothing. You feel bolder in decisions, stronger in persistence. That is the sign that your subconscious has accepted the command. And once it has, results are inevitable. Think of the subconscious as fertile soil. Your definite chief aim is the seed. Reading it daily is the watering. At first, nothing shows. Days pass, and the soil looks unchanged. But beneath the surface, roots are forming. The seed is alive. And then, suddenly, growth breaks through. That is the moment most people quit before seeing. They stop watering too early. But those who persist reap the harvest. Hill himself practiced this relentlessly. When he was broke, when he was doubted, when he had no evidence of success, he still repeated his purpose. He still read it daily. He still visualized it. And eventually, after years, his desire became real. The philosophy he wrote has inspired millions. But it all began with one written statement, repeated until his subconscious made it destiny. So how do you read your definite chief aim daily? Here's the step-by-step. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and clear your mind. Read your statement out loud with energy and emotion. Repeat it slowly, emphasizing key words. Visualize yourself living it. See the details, feel the emotions. End with gratitude. Thank God, the universe, or infinite intelligence for already granting it. Do this morning and night without fail. The first week will feel like effort. The second will feel like habit. The third will feel natural. By the fourth, it will feel like truth. And once your subconscious accepts it as truth, your actions, habits, and results will align. Here's a practical tip. Carry your definite chief aim in your pocket or phone. Read it during the day whenever doubt attacks. When fear whispers, silence it with your statement. When distraction tempts, remind yourself of your purpose. The more you repeat it, the deeper it engraves. And remember, your definite chief aim is not carved in stone. You can refine it as your vision grows. Hill himself adjusted his purpose over time. The key is not perfection, it is persistence. Better to write one imperfect statement and repeat it daily than to wait for the perfect statement and never begin. Action is the cure for hesitation. So ask yourself now, what one page could change your life? What one statement could redirect your destiny? What desire burns so deeply that you're willing to write it, repeat it, and live it daily? That is your definite chief aim. Write it today. Begin reading it tomorrow morning. Commit for 30 days. Watch how your subconscious begins to align. Because here is the truth. Your life is already being shaped by repetition. You already repeat words daily, most of them negative. You already visualize, most of it fear. You already practice autosuggestion, most of it unconscious. The definite chief aim is your chance to take control, to stop drifting, to direct, to program your mind with purpose instead of accident. And once you do, you will realize what Hill discovered. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all greatness. Writing your definite chief aim is not about creating poetry. It is about creating clarity. The clearer you are, the stronger the command you give to your subconscious. Napoleon Hill explained that the majority of people never succeed because they never define exactly what they want. They wander through life with vague intentions, changing direction constantly, and the subconscious, confused by the lack of order, drifts with them. But when you give it a definite instruction, it obeys with precision. So let us build it step by step. Step 1. Decide what you want most. Ask yourself, if I could achieve one thing in the next 5 years, what would it be? Don't censor yourself with doubt or fear. Write it down. Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe it's a healthy, vibrant body. Maybe it's a clear life mission. The key is to choose one definite goal. You can pursue other goals later, but your subconscious needs one dominant command now. Step 2. Be specific and measurable. Instead of writing, I want wealth, write, I will earn $250,000 by December 31st, 2026. Instead of I want health, write, I will weigh 75 kilos with a lean, energetic body by June 1st, 2025. Instead of I want purpose, write, I will publish a book by September 2026 that inspires thousands. Numbers, dates, and details give your subconscious something to grab. Vague desires create vague results. Specific desires create specific actions. Step 3. Decide what you will give in return. He'll emphasize this as crucial. Every desire demands a price. If you want wealth, maybe you will give disciplined work, creative energy, and valuable service. If you want health, you will give consistent exercise, clean nutrition, and daily discipline. If you want purpose, you will give persistence, sacrifice, and creativity. The subconscious accepts exchange more easily than entitlement. Write clearly what you are willing to give. Step 4. Write it in present tense. Don't say, someday I will earn. Say, I am so grateful now that I earn. The subconscious responds to present reality. It accepts identity. If you declare, I am, it begins to shape your habits to match. If you declare, I will, it delays. The power is in claiming the future as if it is already here. Step 5. Add emotion and gratitude. A flat statement lacks power. A passionate, grateful one penetrates deep. Don't just write, I earned $250,000. Write, I am so grateful and excited now that I earn $250,000 yearly, providing services that transform lives. Add feeling. Add energy. Gratitude convinces the subconscious it is already done. Emotion makes it real. Step 6. Read it morning and night. This is the discipline. Hill said, read your written statement aloud twice daily, once just before retiring at night, and once after arising in the morning. As you read, see and feel yourself already in possession of the money. The same applies to health or purpose. Repetition creates saturation. Saturation creates belief. Belief creates action. Now let's craft some examples together. Wealth example. I am so grateful and joyful now that I earned $250,000 by December 31st, 2026. I do this by building a digital business that helps thousands of people improve their fitness and health. In return, I dedicate 10 hours daily to learning, serving, and creating value. I act with persistence and discipline. I am free, abundant, and generous, and I use my wealth to bless others. Health example. I'm so grateful now that I weigh 75 kilos with a lean, strong, and vibrant body. I exercise 4 times per week, eat nourishing foods daily, and live with energy and vitality. In return, I give my body the discipline it deserves, avoiding harmful habits and embracing strength. I am healthy, alive, and full of energy, enjoying each day with joy. Purpose example. I am so grateful and excited that I am fulfilling my purpose as a teacher and mentor. By September 2026, I will have published a book that inspires thousands of people, and I continue to impact lives daily through videos, writing, and service. In return, I give my discipline, creativity, and persistence fully to this mission. I am chosen, equipped, and unstoppable in living my calling. Notice the common elements. Specific target, amount, weight, deadline. Exchange what you will give. Present tense, gratitude, and emotion. Daily repetition. This is the formula. It works not because it is mystical, but because it aligns the conscious and subconscious with clarity. The conscious mind knows where it is going. The subconscious begins to direct habits, ideas, and emotions to match. Together, they move as one. But the definite chief aim is not just words. It is commitment. You cannot write it once and forget it. You must read it daily until it becomes identity. Hill explained that the subconscious accepts any thought repeated often enough with emotion. Your chief aim must become your obsession, your dominant thought, the fire that directs your energy. Without obsession, desire fades. With obsession, destiny is inevitable. So now ask yourself, what would your page say? If you had to define your life's purpose on one sheet, what would it be? Would it describe wealth, health, impact, or mixture? Would it declare service to others? Would it reveal your greatest desire? Take time. Write it. Read it. Live it. Because one page can change your life. A single page, a single decision, a single statement of purpose has changed the course of history countless times. Napoleon Hill knew this, which is why he repeated it over and over. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. Without it, no one achieves anything lasting. With it, ordinary people become extraordinary. Think of Andrew Carnegie, one of the men who inspired Hill's work. Carnegie was not born rich. He came from poverty in Scotland and immigrated to the United States with nothing. But as a boy, he decided, I will be wealthy. That decision became his burning desire. He carried it for years, repeating it daily, and every action aligned with it. Eventually, he built an empire of steel and became one of the richest men in the world. But more importantly, he dedicated his wealth to service, libraries, education, philanthropy. His definite chief aim was not just money, but legacy. And his legacy still stands today. Or take Thomas Edison. His purpose was simple, to bring light to the world. That single statement defined his life. It gave him persistence through thousands of failures. Without definiteness of purpose, those failures would have destroyed him. With purpose, they fueled him. His chief aim became identity. Edison was light, and his legacy still shines every time we flip a switch. Consider Martin Luther King Jr. His chief aim was not vague. It was specific, freedom and equality for all people. He repeated it daily, spoke it publicly, and lived it relentlessly. His words, I have a dream, were not just a speech, they were the affirmation of his chief aim. That dream became his identity, and that identity became a movement. Decades later, his legacy continues to inspire millions. Even in Scripture, we see this principle. David declared his purpose before facing Goliath. I will strike you down and cut off your head, that the whole world will know there is a God in Israel. That was definiteness of purpose. He didn't say, I hope to win. He said exactly what he would do, and then he did it. Purpose made him fearless. Purpose made him victorious. The same pattern repeats across history. Those who achieve greatness know exactly what they want and refuse to let it go. Their definite chief aim becomes identity. They no longer try to do something. They are it. Edison was light. Carnegie was wealth and service. King was justice. David was victory. Purpose defined them. And the same can be true for you. Imagine writing your definite chief aim so clearly, so powerfully, that it becomes who you are. Imagine waking up every day with the fire of a mission. Imagine facing obstacles, but refusing to quit because your purpose is stronger than your pain. Imagine building a life that not only fulfills you, but inspires those around you. That is the power of one page. But here's the secret. Your chief aim is not just for you. It is for your family, your community, your generation. When you drift, others suffer. When you direct, others benefit. Your purpose ripples outward. Every word you write, every decision you make, every step you take plants seeds in the lives of others. That is why selfish goals often fail, but purposeful ones endure. Legacy is always bigger than self. Hill warned of the opposite, drifting. The drifter has no chief aim. He wakes up without clarity. He reacts instead of directs. He takes jobs he doesn't want, spends time in ways that don't matter, and reaches the end of life with regrets. The drifter wastes not only his own life, but the potential impact he could have made. The difference between drifting and destiny is one page. This is why your chief aim must be written, spoken, and lived. It must be so clear that doubt cannot shake it, so strong that fear cannot silence it, so consistent that failure cannot break it. The world may resist you, but your purpose will sustain you. Think of your own life. How many times have you drifted? How many times have you pursued goals half-heartedly, only to abandon them? How much time has been wasted in uncertainty? Now imagine the opposite. One burning desire, one clear direction, one unshakable purpose, pursued daily until achieved. Which life do you want? Here is the truth. Every person you admire, every leader you respect, every hero you celebrate had a definite chief aim. They knew exactly what they wanted. They repeated it until it became identity. They lived it until it became legacy. And now their names live on. So what about you? What will your chief aim be? Will it be wealth, used to bless others? Will it be health, used to live vibrantly and inspire? Will it be purpose, used to serve your generation? Whatever it is, write it, read it, live it. Because if you don't, you will drift. And drifting is slow death. Your purpose is waiting to be written. Your legacy is waiting to be shaped. Your future is waiting for one page. Do not waste another day without it. Take the time now. Decide, write, repeat, live. Because when you do, you will discover what Hill discovered. Definiteness of purpose is the key to greatness. And one page can change everything. One page can change your entire life. That is not exaggeration, it is reality. Napoleon Hill called it the definite chief aim because it defines you, directs you, and drives you toward destiny. Without it, you drift. With it, you rise. Without it, you hesitate. With it, you act. Without it, you surrender to fear. With it, you persist in faith. Think about what happens when you live without purpose. You wake up uncertain. You work without passion. You spend your days reacting instead of creating. Years pass and nothing changes. You are busy but not fulfilled. You achieve but not meaningfully. This is drifting. This is the tragedy of millions. They had potential but no purpose. They had talent but no direction. They had opportunities but no focus. Their lives end with regret, not legacy. But when you have a definite chief aim, everything changes. You wake up with clarity. You move with confidence. You persist with resilience. Obstacles don't destroy you, they strengthen you. Doubt doesn't paralyze you, it fuels you. Fear doesn't silence you, it challenges you. Why? Because your purpose is bigger than your problems. And here is the deeper truth. Your chief aim is not only about what you want, it is about who you become. When you declare your purpose and repeat it daily, your subconscious begins to shape your identity. You're no longer someone who wishes. You are someone who directs. You're no longer someone who hopes. You are someone who believes. You're no longer someone who drifts. You are someone who builds. And once your identity changes, your life must follow. Hill said that success requires definiteness of purpose, faith, and persistence. These three together form the unbreakable triangle of destiny. Purpose gives you direction. Faith gives you confidence. Persistence gives you endurance. With all three, nothing can stop you. Without them, nothing can sustain you. So let's bring this home. What is your page? What is the statement you will write today that will define your tomorrow? Will it describe the wealth you will earn, the health you will live, the purpose you will fulfill? Will it be specific, measurable, emotional, and persistent? Will it be written in present tense, infused with gratitude, spoken with conviction? That one page can separate drifting from destiny, regret from legacy, ordinary from extraordinary. But writing it is only the beginning. You must read it daily. You must repeat it morning and night. You must visualize it as real. You must act in alignment with it. You must persist when resistance comes. This is not a casual practice. It is a covenant with yourself. The world will test you. Doubt will whisper. Fear will attack. But your page, your chief aim, will remind you why you began. It will keep you focused. It will keep you strong. It will keep you moving until you arrive. And when you do arrive, when you achieve the vision you wrote, you will realize something even greater. The journey was not just about achieving. It was about becoming. The definite chief aim does not only give you results. It gives you transformation. It makes you disciplined, focused, resilient, faithful. It forges character, and that character is the true reward. So here is my challenge to you. Do not leave this moment without writing your page. Take a pen. Take paper. Write your desire. Be specific. Decide what you will give in return. Set a deadline. Write it in present tense with gratitude and emotion. Then commit to reading it twice daily. Do it for 30 days, then for 60, then for 90. And one day, you will look back and realize that page changed everything. And if this message has spoken to you, if it has awakened the fire inside you, don't let it fade. Act now. Write your page now. And stay with us. Because here, we are not drifting, we are directing. Here, we are not doubting, we are believing. Here, we are not wasting life, we are building destiny. So hit that subscribe button right now. Don't just watch, commit. Don't just agree, act. Subscribe and join a movement of people writing their chief aim, living with purpose and building legacies. Your page is waiting. Your purpose is calling. Your future is ready. The only question left is, will you write it?